Mats. Good morning, man. Good morning. Welcome to a daily and a weekly market outlook. It's actually, we go through into the market and to see in terms of the events that are coming this week, fundamental events, and look into the instruments to see where exactly we can actually, get opportunity and jump in and trade. So yeah, man, the disclaimer is that this information is purely for education purposes. It's not the information directly to tell you what to trade and what to not trade, right? So we saw last week what it was moving the market. The market was actually moved by NVIDIA. NVIDIA, it's one of the chip company in US that they release their earnings, and their earnings, they actually lift all the stocks from US. If we look at indices like US 100, we look at US 30, we look at NAS 100, S&P 500, all of them, they go all the way high up, pushed by the NVIDIA. So that was the story that comes last week, and that's what drives the market last week. So this week, let's actually look into the fundamental news and to see where exactly we're going to see the market. Monday, the 26th May, there's a Bank of Japan governor under speaks. It's on the Sydney session, but most of the day, Monday, it's quiet, it's holiday because of there's a bank holiday from Britain. There's also a bank holiday from US. I think US, they had a long weekend from Friday all the way to Monday. So not much in terms of high impact volatility on Monday. Most of the time it's like that. But now we can jump into Tuesday, May the 28th. We're seeing retail sales coming on from Australian dollar, LAM, in the Sydney session. We're expecting high impact volatility there from Australian dollar. Later on Tuesday, we're seeing CB consumer confidence coming from US 4 p.m. We're expecting high impact volatility to US instrument and all correlated, as well as US 30 gold. We're seeing the movement in terms of gold. Moving on Wednesday, the 29th, there's a CPI from Australian dollar, 3:30 a.m. on a Sydney session. Again, we're going to see a lot of movement on Wednesday in terms of Australian dollar and all correlated instrument to Australian dollar. Later on, we're seeing a German premium CPI. So there's Australian CPI. There's also German consumer price index. Expecting German 30 to have a movement there on Wednesday, to have a high impact volatility, and all instrument in terms of the euro and all instrument correlated to a euro dollar. All right, moving on to 4 p.m. It's a Richmond Manufacturing Index. It's one of the index that released from US. It actually drives a lot of instruments. It drives the dollar index as well. So we're going to see how much volatility is going to have in terms of the dollar index. And as well as we know, once the volatility goes on a dollar index, we're going to see also the volatility on a safe haven, which is gold. So that's all coming on Wednesday. Moving on a Thursday, 9 a.m. Swiss franc GDP coming on. High impact volatility from Swiss franc and all correlated instruments. Later on, 2:30 p.m. US GDP. Again, we're jumping on a week of a GDP. We're seeing Swiss franc GDP, US GDP as well. We're expecting Thursday, NAS 100, US 30, and UK 100 to have a high impact movement today. 4 p.m. there's US pending home sales. Again, that's another events that actually release in terms of the home, how many people they're actually buying the home or applying for the homes and so on. That gives you the clear picture in terms of how the economy is going or how the GDP is going, and again how the inflation is going to be increased or it actually going to decrease. So that is on Thursday, 4 p.m. Moving on Friday, May the 31st, the early in the morning, we're seeing Tokyo Core CPI as well, 1:30 a.m. Asian session. Japanese yen, we're going to see high impact of volatility from Japanese yen. 3:30 a.m. again, there's a manufacturing PMI from China. All instruments from China, CN50, Nikkei, they're going to have a high impact volatility there. That is on Friday. The last ones on Friday is 2:30 p.m. There's a GDP from Canada, and again, there's also core price index month to month from US. So all of those the news on Friday, they're coming on 2:30 p.m. We're expecting Canadian to have a high impact volatility as well as US. So yeah, according to the week, the way it looks like there's a couple of GDPs, GDP from Canada, GDP from Swiss franc, GDP from US. There's a couple of CPI from Tokyo, CPI from Australian, CPI as well from German that we are seeing. So I think it's a week of consumer price index as well as the GDP week. So that's actually how the volatility and the events, the fundamental events, they look like for this week. Another interesting news that we saw gold spiking up all the way to the all-time high and dipping down a little bit for end of last week. But again, now it's starting correcting all the way up. It's because there's a lot of stories that are coming from gold. There's a story about the Chinese. They're spending a lot of money, their investment, to purchase gold so that they can keep gold, so that even if they're going to get any sanctions from US, they can now be able to have something as a commodity and to use it for their benefit. So that's another story. Then there's a different story of BHP trying to buy Anglo American. They go back and forth for actually 2 months now, coming with a bet, Anglo American decline, coming with a different offer, Anglo American decline. The last offer, it was last week, and Anglo American decline again. So they have set up a next date where they can actually come up also with an offer. So we're going to see how this is going to fold and how it's going to impact the market, especially gold. All right, so let's jump in the markets. Let's see what opportunities can we get here. Okay. Right. So, all right, starting with the German 30, as we already see that Tuesday, they're going to have CPI, Consumer Price Index, and you can tell already the volatility of German 30 has already starting to pick up. If we put it on a bigger time frame, I'm thinking the market to actually drop a little bit to this position of 18,549. 18,549, somewhere around here, right? That's in terms of German 30. So again, if you can see, it's a big move. It's a big move. Although also, just to be on the safe side, I think also we can maybe put our take profit on 18,674. 18,674, highly possible that the market can get to this level, break it. Once it break, going all the way to 18,540. That's German 30. There's a CPI, Consumer Price Index, that is coming. Let me see, on Tuesday. I think on Tuesday. On Wednesday, CPI coming from German. So yeah, we're anticipating the movement from German 30 there. The other instrument, maybe we can also look, it's UK 100. We can see already the volatility of UK 100 has starting to picking up. But I'm really anticipating a little bit of recovery of these instruments. So I'm thinking maybe US 100 for FTSE 100, it will recover, drop a little bit to 8,254. 8,254. If you look at it, it's not that bad. It's a couple of some move there. Once it get to 8,254, it can now start spiking up. The highest target, it will be 8,420. 8,420, I believe that's the highest target that we are actually, looking into. All right, let's jump in God. God has been busy. He's been really, 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 really busy. Let's try to remove some of the lines here. Okay. All right. So there's a higher possibility that once the US GDP comes around Wednesday, moving to Thursday, the dollar itself, it might depreciate a little bit. Not that much, just a little bit. The only thing that is keeping the dollar strong, or keeping the stocks strong, besides the dollar itself or besides the dollar index, is the earnings. So we have seen a lot of earnings already have been dropped out. We are seeing biggest, the Magnificent Seven has dropped the earnings. The first Magnificent, the godfather of AI, artificial intelligence, they actually dropped the earnings last week, Friday. That's where we saw a lot of volatility when it comes to all these instruments. So that's NVIDIA, right? So we're not expecting, I'm not expecting a high movement when it comes to dollar index in terms of growth. So if I'm not expecting in terms of growth, I'm thinking that gold will start now picking up, goes all the way up again. Maybe here, maybe somewhere there on 2,424, 2,424. Highly possibility that gold can get to 2,424. Right now, we can see it's dipping a little bit. You know, maybe it might dip and retest somewhere around these positions. And then from there, start again, turning back and go all the way up again. So, all right, that's in terms of the gold, analyzing it based on the GDP that is coming, based on the dollar index, how it's going to perform itself. NAS 100, NAS 100 and the US data, all of them, they've been all the way up. We are actually anticipating NAS 100 to drop a little bit, maybe to 18,633, 18,633. That's my target that it will drop. So it might push because of Monday, not much about of movement. It might move a little bit slow. Then from Tuesday, start dropping bit by bit all the way to 18,633. 18,633. It's quite some move. You can make something out of it. All right. US 30, as usual, we can see again US 30 right now. It's way down compared to NASDAQ, compared to US 100. I mean, compared to NASDAQ. It's actually way down, sitting at 39,099. Pretty much, I'm anticipating a buy move or a bullish movement in terms of US 30 recovery, starting from Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Thursday when the GDP of US drops. So it might pick up and then drop again when US 30, I mean, when NASDAQ it's actually dropping, because you can see NASDAQ is already above the price, you know. So it's going to push up a little bit to 18,935, then drop. While it's pushing up a little bit, that's where US 30 is going to collect as well, moving with the NASDAQ. Once the NASDAQ reaches above and starting dropping, same as US 30 will do the same, following the NASDAQ drop all the way down. So yeah, man, that's a couple of instruments that we actually, you know, look into, and we're expecting, you know, to have high opportunities in the market, you know, so that everyone can be able to actually take advantage and make something. As we said already last week, the market was moved by the earnings that come from the godfather of AI, which is the NVIDIA. You know, the biggest companies that produce the tech chip actually, you know, surpass their estimation numbers in terms of how they were estimated. They actually grow their stock price in a day for $1 billion. So that's a lot of you know, volatility that we saw last week. From now, I think we're gonna wait what other earnings they're gonna come on. But this week, I think we're expecting GDP from US to give us really the direction of where the dollar is actually going. So right, man, don't forget that 360 Capital has 50% bonus. You can deposit from $100 and actually get a extra 50% bonus. That boosts your you know, your account have to have, so that you can have more equity and more margin in your account, and you can be able to execute properly. So, all right, man, thank you very much for watching this one. My name is Che Yusuf. Keep subscribing, share with other guys. Just a few knowledge there that, you know, you can share with other people, and they can learn one or two from this video. Thank you.